Welcome back to today's explainer. If you've been hanging around the AI development space, you've probably figured out that just building an AI agent is really only half the battle. Getting a robust, super efficient environment set up to actually run the thing, well, that is where the real magic happens. So today we've got a direct, step-by-step blueprint to build guide for setting up your Developer Toolkit and Agent CLI. We're going to take all that theory and turn it into something incredibly practical, moving straight into a fully functional command line setup. All right, let's get building.
Okay, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with an introduction to agent skills, run through the essential toolkit installations, tackle the terminal setup and execution, and then finally wrap things up by testing out our weather agent.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Introduction to Agent Skills, the brain of your AI.
So think about the old traditional way of doing things. An AI basically tries to load absolutely everything it knows all at once. You ask it to do one tiny, simple thing, and boom, it triggers 100 different tasks simultaneously. It's incredibly slow, it costs an absolute fortune in tokens, and it's just noisy, right? It gets confused easily. But this new skills architecture totally flips the script. It breaks tasks right down, it only loads the specific knowledge it needs for the exact task you asked for right when it needs it. The result? You get lightning-fast responses, amazingly low token usage, and a much more cost-effective agent.
To really wrap our heads around this, just think of an agent skill as your own on-demand AI expert. Instead of dealing with this massive generalized brain, you're actually giving your agent a tiny, highly specialized package of knowledge. Maybe it's a package strictly for API testing or one just for code review. So when a user specifically asks for a code review, your agent only loads up that exact expert package. Honestly, it is just brilliant resource management.
Now, just to make sure our foundation is completely rock solid before we dive in, we need to clarify the difference between agent skills and MCP. That's the Model Context Protocol. Basically, agent skills act as the brain. They provide that expert logic in those small, tight packages we just talked about. MCP, on the other hand, well, those act as the connectors, or the hands, if you will. They hook your agent up to the outside world, like a database, GitHub, or your Google Drive. So remember, skills do the thinking, and MCP does the connecting.
Moving right along to Section 2, Essential Toolkit Installations, the Blueprint Prerequisites.
Okay, so there are 3 absolute, non-negotiable software installations you gotta have on your machine before you even think about touching the Agent CLI. We're talking Python, Node.js, and UV. You can just grab these straight from their official websites. And I can't stress this enough. Without these 3 foundational pillars firmly in place, our terminal commands later on are literally just going to fail.
And hey, once you've installed them, double-check them. Seriously, don't just assume they installed perfectly. Pop open your terminal or PowerShell and run these 3 quick checks: Python-version, UV-version, and Node-V. If your terminal spits back a version number for each of those, awesome. You've got a verified foundation and you are officially ready to tackle the command line.
Which brings us to Section 3, Terminal Setup and Execution, Building the Command Sequence.
All right, fire up your preferred terminal. The very first thing on the to-do list is activating the environment. And it is incredibly simple. Literally just type AGY and hit Enter to wake up your workspace.
Now, a quick heads up here. Once you start running the setup commands that follow, your terminal is going to get pretty needy. It's going to ask for a whole bunch of permissions. Don't panic. Just press the down arrow, select Yes and Always Allow, and just keep pressing Enter. Let the installation do its thing.
Next up, we need to authenticate using your Kaggle API key. Yeah, the one you generated when you initially set up your account. Now, here is a massive pro tip for you. Do not try to copy it straight from your web browser directly into a busy terminal. It's a recipe for disaster. Paste it safely into a blank notepad file first. Make sure there are absolutely no weird extra spaces hiding in there.
Okay, now we actually inject that key into our environment. You're going to use the export command to bind your API credentials right to your active session. Just swap out that placeholder text with the key you just carefully saved in your notepad and hit Enter. Boom! This securely hands your agent the exact access it needs to do its job.
And with that, we are finally ready for the main build sequence. Step 1, paste in the specific command to generate your weather agent, and just let it process. Step 2, paste the command to launch the Agent CLI playground. And step 3, exactly like we just talked about, keep hitting Enter to blast through any of those lingering permission prompts. If you watch closely, your terminal is literally piecing together a highly specialized weather assistant right before your eyes. It's pretty cool.
All right, let's wrap this up with Section 4, Testing the Weather Agent going live.
So look really closely at the last few lines of text your terminal spits out. You want to keep your eyes peeled for port 8000, or hey, sometimes it's port 8080. When you finally see that port number pop up on your screen, that is it. That's your ultimate green light. It means your local server is alive and successfully hosting your brand new AI agent.
Now to actually play around with it, just follow these 3 quick steps. First, open up a totally fresh browser tab and head over to localhost 8000, or, whichever port your terminal gave you. Second, the interface is going to ask you to select an app to connect the agent, so go ahead and click it to establish that link. And finally, let's test this new brain of yours. Type in a prompt, something like current weather in UP, and smash that enter button. If your setup was flawless, your new token-efficient agent is going to instantly fetch and display the totally accurate weather data.
And there you go. You have officially navigated the Developer Toolkit, you've conquered the Agent CLI, and you successfully built and tested a super token-efficient AI expert right from scratch. But listen, a weather agent is just scratching the surface. Now that you actually hold the blueprint for building these on-demand, specialized AI packages, what specialized skill are you going to construct next to expand your agent's brain? Is it going to be a data analyst, maybe a code reviewer, or something completely out of left field? The toolkit is all yours now. Keep building, keep experimenting, and I will catch you in the next explainer.